Hi there. At the moment I'm on an island, and we came here by canoe. We spent the night here. I slept in a tent. My kids have slept in their hammocks, and yeah, it's early morning, and I wanted to talk about the vanishing wilderness, or how these areas of nature, wild nature, untouched nature, are getting smaller and smaller. Now, before I do that, the entire video from this trip out here to the island is on my other channel, Bjorn Outdoors, and I will leave a link for you, so that you can go and watch that. And may I ask that you consider subscribing to this channel if you like this video, and also my other channel, Bjorn Outdoors, or Bjorn Outdoors. So yeah, the dogs are here, of course, and some geese behind me. Can you see them? Fog on the water. It's very early, and it's so beautiful here. And I don't think I've talked about this before. I grew up in an area with a suburban area, but it was not like typical suburbs, because the houses were not close together, and you had large areas in between with speckles of forests and huge gardens. And it was quite normal back then that the dogs were just roaming around and so did we, you know, as kids. It was the kind of childhood where they would, you know, and yes, the mother would come out on the out the door, you know, and shout, because you knew you had to come home for dinner. And it's not like that anymore where I grew up. It's quite, they call it developed, because that means that there are lots of houses there. Now, I don't remember the numbers when it comes to deforestation, how we are losing wilderness areas, or these untouched areas. And some will say that, well, there is no such thing as an untouched wilderness area. But I can tell you this. I'm seeing this. I'm feeling this. We are losing the wilderness. And I don't like that. It makes me very sad. It makes me upset. Because if we lose the wilderness, I believe we lose who we are as human beings, as I was going to say spiritual beings, and I think actually that's true as well, because you know, you can go to a a house of worship. But there is nothing like that connection you get out in the wilderness. I believe that many of the things that people are struggling with in today's modern society, like depression, you know, and not only the mental illnesses, but also the physical problems that people seem to have, you know, caused by stress and caused by a lack of closeness to nature. It's so obvious, isn't it? If you live a life disconnected from nature and disconnected from wilderness, I don't think that will be a good life. I don't think we were meant to live that way. Now we are out here for just an overnighter, and that means that we don't get too far, you know, out in the wilderness. That being said, this is wilderness actually. If we had moved, you know, that way, continued, we would have reached very soon the border to Sweden, and of course, things being as they are, that would have been problematic. But the trees look just the same at the other side of the border, and what I'm trying to say is that there are vast areas here, vast wilderness areas. Here's a mosquito. So I know that we are now in the wilderness, and but we haven't gotten far enough out in the wilderness so that we won't hear the noise from distant roads. And since things are so quiet here, it is quiet here, you know, that those sounds, they tear apart the silence. There's something about being able to listen to the world. And when I'm out on the ocean, you know, it's almost like I can feel the earth breathing. Out in the woods is different, but it's still, there is something. There is something. It's hard to define, but I know it's very valuable. It's very valuable. So, what I'm trying to say, you know, and my message in this video is that we need to protect the wilderness. We do not own the wilderness. And by the way, this is different from most aspects of modern environmentalism. Let's just call it that. They don't talk so much about protecting wilderness. Well, maybe they think they do, but that's not their main focus. It should be. A couple of weeks ago we were driving in the western part of Norway, along the west coast there, and we saw the devastation caused by the huge wind generators there. that made me upset. It was I didn't like to see that those beautiful areas ruined just so that people can get more electricity to charge their devices, warm their houses, charge their electrical cars. Yeah. We are so lucky. We are so lucky to be able to go out in the wilderness like this, and we need to protect what we have here. It's not ours. None of the trees around me, none of these trees belong to us. And I know it's a bit of a cliche, but they belong to the next generations. This is not ours. We are part of this. We do not own this. But okay, I'm just out there, early morning, rambling. Okay, get out there, out in the wilderness. It's beautiful. Okay. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.